Why man great till he gotta be great? Don't text me, tell it right to my face. I'm paraphrasing. I may have messed that up. I love that song. My kids love that song. The radio version of that song. I want to be clear. Okay, I want to be clear. It's a great song, but edited. It's got to be edited. Radio edit. Don't need my kids swearing up. What's going on? Yeah, a little bit behind tonight. It's been crazy up in Hudson World. Okay, so we had so much happen this week. A lot to talk on. We had some people. I don't know. People are cynical this week, and I get it. They're getting a little tired of everyone hating on their hogs, man. I get it. You know, the radio, the .com folks, the people who write the articles, message boards, YouTubers, podcasters. Everyone's just hating on their hogs, and they're getting so upset. They're just so mad. Stop talking bad about the hogs. No one wants to hear you be negative. Oh, give me a break. This was Austin Shryock in the comments on the post that I posted earlier, the Flamingo Friday post here on YouTube. No one wants to hear you cry about how it's, by the way, it's not THERE, that would be THE, well, you know, I'll correct you later, but that's not how you spell it in that context. But about how terrible they are and talk about basketball for an hour. Boring. When they win, you don't get to celebrate. Negative Nancy. When they win what? There's been a very interesting change in, if you guys, for those of you who used to listen to Bo Mattingly, okay, I know I roll from some people in the audience. Maybe, I don't know why we're all so cynical towards sports talk radio. I mean, these guys, I'm going to tell you first off, they don't make a lot of money. Hell, I don't make any money doing this, but they get paid to do it, but not a whole lot. And people are so cynical towards radio people. I can't figure that out. I always thought Bo ran a damn good show. Well, he used to have a caller. I'm blanking on his name right now. Stuttgart. So-and-so from Stuttgart. He talks really fast. Hey, man, let me tell you. I'm all about those odds, man. Let me tell you. The Razorbacks, Brett Bielema, he's a bum. Why am I blanking on his name? Steve from Stuttgart? Someone help me out who knows, who maybe knows in the chat. But anyways, he came through on this morning's show. Michael from Stuttgart, that's it. He called in this morning and blasted people who haven't been on the Chad Morse bus. And listen, Clay Henry kind of went along with it a little bit. What's up, Big Fry? Go Razorbacks, all caps. But I get it. You know, there's some people who are still on board with what's going on. There are media people on Twitter who've said, you know, maybe that's part of what this is. You just burn it all down, right? Chad Morris has to burn it all down. It's going to be atrocious, and then they're going to rise like a phoenix from the ashes. I'm going to tell you something. I haven't seen anything that says that that's going to be the case. Like, I haven't seen this team look prepared. They get out hustled. I don't know if out hustled's not fair, but I just, from the sidelines, from the lack of communication, I don't know, all of everything that we've talked about here for the last several weeks. Like, what tells you, what are you seeing that we don't? Okay, I realize this guy's much older than I am and has probably watched way more football. He's probably forgotten more football. Well, I'm not gonna go that far. I've watched a lot of football since going back a while, but I'm sure he's watched a lot of sports and watched a lot of football and watched a lot of Razorback football and has seen things that were pretty bad, like the 90s. The 90s were really rough for the Razorback football. But I don't know what you're seeing that the rest of us aren't. I don't know. But and I'm hearing more and more of the media around here kind of, for whatever reason, they really think that something could possibly happen. And I don't know if that's because the schedule just got a lot easier outside of LSU the next 4 games. I don't know. But I want to thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, share the content. I did trim the beard. You are correct, Castle Lord. I trimmed it. And I did for a reason. And most of you know why, or most of you know the biggest thing that happened for me this week. I'll get to that in a second. Well, here it is. Here, I'll just show you. Wow, got that media pass. How cool is that? That was it. That's for. We have the credentials. We have to apply every game, and I got to talk to the people, to the powers that be, with getting the pass. So we're in. We're in. I don't want to go further on that sentence. Remember to like, comment, share, all that stuff. You guys, I really do appreciate it. Stop talking about my hogs. He can play quarterback with number 1. If I'm right, I'm a genius. If I'm wrong, well, laugh out loud. Yeah, I do not understand what people like. And again, like even Clay Henry kind of agreed with Michael from Stuttgart to a degree. And look, Michael's a knowledgeable cat. I'm not going to lie to you. When he starts talking about betting odds and all that stuff, like, listen to what he has to say. For those of you who listen. Now, this was on the Morning Rush this morning where he did that, where he called and went on this rant. And he was pretty passionate about it. Called out people in the media, called out people at the Morning Rush right there on live radio. I mean, how ballsy is that? Ooh. But he strikes me as the type of guy that would probably do it to their faces too. So part of it was a chuckle, and another part of it was just head scratching. I don't get it. I don't get what people are seeing that has them believing through a year and a half that this thing can be turned around. I don't know. I will say there's an opportunity here for the Razorbacks to get a win. And what could this do for the fan base if you could find a way to, because look, Mississippi State's bad. So let's knock the bad out first, okay? Nobody wants to listen to me be negative for an hour, so according to some people, according to one guy. I don't know, ask 300,000 total views, my man. Tell me what that says. Apparently someone wants to hear me talk a little trash. Congrats on the media pass, so you can ask the real questions, Trap God. Yeah, again, we sat in that room. I'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to the Mike Neighbors stuff here in just a second. Got to talk to Mike Neighbors, Chelsea Dungy. I'm going to tell you guys, I can't. We're going to talk a little women's basketball for for a minute, and we're also going to talk about men's this Monday. I promise this Monday I'm going to give you my official record. It's not going to be, I'm not going to say exactly 18 or 19 or 20 or 21 wins, but I'll give you guys my thoughts there. Michael from Stuttgart in all caps. Yeah, Michael from Stuttgart. He's something else. You've got several of those guys who just make a living, I guess, calling in these shows. They don't make any money, but they like to call in and give their opinion, and they do help radio shows out a lot, and they do make it that much more entertaining. I'm not going to lie. The guy knows his stuff. I just don't know what the hell he's seeing. I really don't. Like, I'm out here with binoculars on my screen. Like, what is he seeing here? Let's break down really quick the bad, which is Arkansas Razorback football. I guess they have a game this weekend against Mississippi State, in case you guys, forgot, and nobody could blame you. But, yeah, that is happening this what is that, 3 p.m.? Is that 3? It is. It's 3 p.m. on SEC Network. Mississippi State favored at 74%. Arkansas, this is the lowest margin they've had, I think, since what was the Kentucky game? I can't remember. I want to say since Kentucky. But right now, the spread is at 7.5. The over-under is at 59. These, again, Mississippi State is they do have an SEC win, something Arkansas does not have. And not that came against a great opponent, that win, but it was at home against Kentucky, which they won 28-13. They managed to beat Kentucky, but it was at home. Other than that, they beat Louisiana Lafayette, Southern Miss, and Kentucky. Now they're on a 4-game losing streak. There's all sorts of concerns with them. Garrett Schrader, 1,000 yards passing, 7 touchdowns. I think he has 3 picks. Kylan Hill, this guy's, they've got some weapons on offense. The thing that you're concerned about, though, is, if they set the outside edge, is Arkansas going to be able to respond? We know that they won't. They have struggled so much against the outside edge and perimeter defense. Like, there's nobody there. It's like they play touch football out there when someone is out there. Mitchell's their leading receiver at 344 yards and 4 touchdowns off 25 catches. Let's see. Passing yards, they rank 106th in the country. Their rushing offense is top 50, right at 46. They allow 31 points. They score an average of 25 points a game. They're pretty similar with Arkansas. They're not good away from home. They're not good at home, but they only beat Louisiana Lafayette by 10. And Kellen Mond threw for 5 touchdowns on these guys. A&M beat them 49-30. Arkansas, I don't know. I really, at this point, I'm done. I feel like I say the same thing every week. Feed your monsters. Find a way to get Rakeem Boyd more involved. I don't want to see him with just 12 or 13 runs. Look, they have an opportunity here to get this thing headed in the right direction, okay? Or at least to recoup some of the fans that they've lost. You get a win, you find a way to get a win here, and then you beat Western Kentucky. None of this is certain, I know, but you find a way to get past these next 2 games. It's the first time in Razorback under Chad Morris. It's the first time they would have won 2 games back to back. So that would be a first on top of the Power 5 win ever for Chad Morris. On top of the first SEC victory in 2 years, in over 2 years. Despite those things, and it also, you feel like it might help you build a little bit of momentum heading forward, right? And then after that, you've got LSU. Look, we all know they're not, whatever that spread is, I wouldn't even pick it. I wouldn't even take it. And assuming LSU's 100% healthy and ready to go, if they aren't, if they got some injuries that racked up, maybe you pick the spread, right? It's one of those situations where you better you better do your research on that game if they have injuries. But we know as long as Burrow's healthy and as long as they have the pieces on offense that have helped them move along, they're going to slaughter Arkansas. It's going to be rough. I don't know. We'll one game at a time. And then you got Mizzou. So imagine if you played well against LSU. Imagine if you did cover the spread. Imagine if you did, and then you turned around and found a way to beat Mizzou. You've won 3 of your last 4 games. You go from your ceiling being like 3 to 4 wins to now you've got 5 wins. It's not impossible. I think it's just improbable. And I'm there with you guys. You guys know. See, I'm not all negative. I'm trying to find a way to get you there. I'm trying to find a way to get you there, Austin. I'm so sorry. Austin. Austin Shyrock. I was looking up his last name. Austin Shyrock. I'm getting you there. I'm trying to find you an ounce of positivity. Doing the best I can. But it's unlikely. So, right now also with this matchup, again, that over-under was 59 and Mississippi State favorite at 7.5. If someone had asked what happens, if they cover the spread, will it change your mind moving forward? Because we were talking about the question that we had several weeks ago. If they found a way to beat, it's like put the next SEC opponent up. If they beat them, does it change your opinion? Well, yeah, but they're not going to. Here we are. If they beat Mississippi State, does it change your opinion? Well, yeah, but they probably won't. But if they cover the spread, I still don't. No. A win is all the fans want at this point. Give them a win, get a nice win in front of a home crowd in Fayetteville, and that might help you out a little bit. It buys Chad Morris another year, for sure. And I think if you don't lose to Western Kentucky, they probably do still bring him back. Although they probably force him to make some changes with the staff, and we'll see what that does for year 3. And then year 3 again, that's where I'm kind of focused on, assuming, because I feel like my gut instinct tells me he's coming back, that they're going to get year 3 with him if they get past Western Kentucky. So then year 3, what do you do? How do you get to 6 wins if you're Chad Morris next year? He's set up not like the success is not. You've got Notre Dame. You've got a really tough non-conference schedule, and not only that, you're still in the SEC. All right, sorry, I'm way behind on chat. My bad. Let's see. Where are you guys at? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, remember to share, too, if you guys would. Copy and paste the URL up above and put it somewhere on social media. I'd appreciate it. Would you be happy with a 5-7 bowl game? Well, they're not. You can't get a bowl game with 5 wins. You got to have 6, unless I think there's special circumstances where a 5-win team can get. There have been 5-win teams that have made bowl games, but you have to. I don't know. I don't see that happening. Yeah, you got to win 6. I think in Arkansas's case to make a bowl game. Laugh out loud. The weekly question that will never get answered. No, it won't. And that's the thing. It's week in and week out. If they win, does it change your mind? And it's like, well, yeah, but they're not going to. I feel like we are at a crossroads tomorrow afternoon. If we win, we could use that momentum to get to 5-7. We keep Chad, and he might actually look good enough to keep his job. Smoking socks. I pray to God we don't fire Morris. We have the best recruiting class in the history of Arkansas football in only his second year. No, it's smoke. It's not. Give him 2 more years, all I'm saying. Nope, got to disagree there. This recruiting class is falling apart. They've already had several decommitments. If you lose out, you can forget about anything great with recruiting. If you get past Western Kentucky, I don't know, maybe you can trick some kids into coming here. Let's see. I'm not betting an Arkansas favor tomorrow. In the Razorbacks' favor. Highest GPA gets a 5-win bowl. Yeah, it's GPA. I thought it was a couple of things that kind of factored into it. GPA along with maybe the RPI or whatever. If there isn't enough 6-win teams, then you can get it in with 5. Yeah, I think that's the other thing. What's up, Peck? There's our producer. What's up? So, I just don't see it happening. Porter and I have done the last 2 Friday Hog Talk podcasts. I think it was the last 2, and both times we just sit there and kind of chuckle like I don't know what to expect. Honestly, John Stephen Jones isn't the answer either for quarterback if you knew the playbook or not. So the quarterback situation, here we are again. This is it. What do you get with the freshman? How much are we going to see? We know that finally, those of you who've been asking about Hudson Henry, he's going to keep his red shirt like I said he would at the beginning of the year. They're going to red shirt him. He's going to keep his red shirt. We're going to see him to some capacity. These final 4 games, Amonte Spivey. You're going to see some freshmen rotate. We already have on defense, especially up front, but you're going to see some more younger guys rotate. Well, if only Devin Bush had been patient, I still feel like that was a knee-jerk reaction decommit or a transfer. Like, what are you doing? You would have played. There's no doubt in my mind he would have played in these last 4. But you're going to see him. I don't know to what capacity. I don't know how much. Some of it I wonder is Chad Morris just keeping them happy so they don't transfer out. I think that could be the case. I don't know to what capacity we see these freshmen. KJ, I don't know about Mississippi State. But Western Kentucky, it's a possibility. We'll see. Supposedly, we've been saying it for weeks. The rumor had been that they installed a specific package in the red zone for KJ Jefferson. We'll see if that happens. We'll see if they just, we're sick and tired of what's going on with Hicks and Starkle. We're going to throw in the towel. We're just going to let John Stephen and KJ battle it out from here on out. And I think a lot of us would argue that maybe should have been the case from the beginning, but maybe not. Maybe these 2 aren't the option. There's people in chat. Some of you agree that maybe Hicks isn't the answer either. Or, excuse me, not Hicks. John Stephen. Recruiting-wise, it is. No, it's not. Smoke, I don't know what you're talking about, man. They're like 50th overall in recruiting right now. If you're talking about the 2019 class, yes, that 2019 class was top 25. It's not the greatest. On paper, it's debatable. There was a Petrino year, 2000, I want to say 10. Was it 2010? They had like the 16th overall rated class. On paper, it was a solid class. It was great. We still have to see what they do, right? Like, we need to pump the brakes before we start hyping all these kids up. But Treylon Burks, Knox, I think eventually Hudson Henry will turn into something. You had a number of guys on the defensive line that were really nice additions. I think eventually you'll see guys. I wonder if you see Zach Zymos, a little bit more of some of the younger guys in the secondary this weekend. It's going to be interesting to see. Is Chad Morris going to start KJ or Chandler Morris next year? That is, I don't know. Next year. That's too far away. I want every freshman worth his weight in talent on the field over the next 4 games, regardless of outcome. And that, like, why not? Why not? I don't understand in their minds. And this is a really good conversation I've had with a lot of different people. In their minds, this staff, they have to find a way, and they believe they have the opportunity to still make a bowl game, and they're going to play whoever gives them the best chance to do that. They still believe a bowl game, despite what we say here, despite what fans and the media say. In that locker room, those of you who played sports, those of you who played high school sports even, you don't really listen as much to the outside rhetoric. You don't like how negative. Now I'm sure they know this, thanks to the age of social media. I'm sure those players are aware of what's going on out here. But in their minds, in their mindset, they can beat anybody. They just got to play better. In their minds, listen to some of those kids. Listen to their interviews. Listen to the way they talk. Now, some of that is they're coached to say these things and what have you, but I want them believing they can win these last 4 games. I want the staff believing they can. You know, I have no problem with that. I have no qualms with them saying that and believing that and going in with that mindset week in and week out as they prepare and as they install the offense or whatever, install the playbook for that week. Why, you know, for people that are saying start KJ now, that's the only chance you have. No, I'm not there yet. I think they believe that Hicks or Starkel, and that's why we've seen these two most of the year. They believe that these two give them the best opportunity to win ball games. We saw John Stephen against Bama. Kid looked unrattled. Kid looked like he'd been there 100 times. Although he got bailed out on that drive. If you go back and watch, that drive should have been over with. But then there's a penalty on Alabama and gave them new life. And John Stephen was able to get them down the field. Did a great job. And I was impressed. I don't know that you take that drive and say John Stephen's your guy. I don't know yet. He looked the part. And I'm with a lot of you in saying that, yeah, I think what's the harm? What's the harm in seeing someone else try, give them an opportunity? Starkel has the worst quarterback rating in college football. I think it is pretty bad. Recruit all you want. You can have all Alabama's talent, but if you can't coach them, it's still a losing team. Dr. Pep dropping the knowledge bomb up in here. That's absolutely true. I think a lot of that is a reflection. What we've seen the last 2 years, it's a reflection of poor coaching. Sean Norris, we had the most 4-stars we had in history last year, but they aren't the ones on the field right now. Only a certain amount have done anything. We lost Devin Bush. Let's see. Are you going to the open practice tomorrow with the men's basketball team? I'm gonna try. I want to. I want to. Joe Klatt said that on the Colin Cowherd show that Arkansas might be the worst team in the country. I saw that. I saw that. Oh, man. What's up, Ty? I believe Arkansas gets the win tomorrow. Please, no club dub. It's not crazy to say that, Dwight. It's not. I think I'm right there. I'm going to go ahead and take them. I said I wouldn't, but I'm going to take them to cover the spread. I'm taking that 7.5. I do think because of how bad Mississippi State is. Now you watch. I say that, and I just gave them the kiss of death. Coaching has been the worst I've ever seen as a Razorback fan. Game decision have been mind-boggling, stupid. Chad has no hope unless he wins tomorrow and pulls out 4 to 5 wins. Yeah, he's going to have to find a way to get. If you want to get anybody back on board, you've got to get a win because a win against Western Kentucky ain't going to do it. And that's even if you get past Western Kentucky. I still believe the ultimate question right now is the Western Kentucky game for Chad's future. You lose that, I do not know how. I don't know how this administration keeps him around, and I don't think you deserve to stick around if you lose to the likes of teams that you've already lost to as the head coach of the Razorbacks this year and last year, combined with the lack of SEC wins, assuming that's how this unwinds, and I believe that it does. I don't know how you keep your job. I just don't. I don't know how you do it. Tinfoil hat theory. I love these. These are my favorite. KJ has switched his from number 1 to number 6 this week. And and wore long sleeves and turtlenecks. Could they be poorly to throw Mississippi State off? I'm not following you there. I'm sorry, Mr. Tito. I'm not really sure. Okay, I normally like the tinfoil hat comments, but that one's a little. KJ has switched his something from number 1 to number 6 and wore long sleeves, so on and so forth. Okay. Let's see. If and when do you think we bring out the Club Dub? No, I don't. I don't think they do. I don't think they bring Club Dub back. I think that got so much backfire. I mean, if they do, they deserve to be laughed at if they turn around and lose next week. I think we can win. Let's see. Blake says Colin can. Yeah, I'm not going to read that out loud, but that was funny. Yeah, I don't know. He's not wrong. I mean, they're not wrong saying how bad they are. Let's see. Dabo and the Clemson players must not know football. They all say Morris is a good coach and a great offensive mind. Well, of course they do. And it's easy to win when you have that kind of talent and you're the offensive coordinator. It's different when you're an OC to a head coach. We've seen that time and time again. I'm sure, and I've said that here before, I'm sure Chad Morris is an elite level OC. I'm sure he is. But if you can't if you can't work it out at Arkansas, if you can't win, if you can't beat the likes of San Jose State, Colorado State last year, North Texas, you saw what happened. That's a lack of preparation. That's a reflection on poor coaching. So, I don't know. Ty, if KJ doesn't play tomorrow, he might just head for the Bobby Hopper. The transfer portal inside Bobby Hopper tunnel. That's right. KJ better play, or people are going to be mad. No, they're not going to be mad if you win or if you see a lot of John Steven. People are already pissed about all sorts of different things. I don't think they're mad over not playing KJ against the likes of Mississippi State. That's an SEC program. If you get blown out, now that's different. If you lose this thing by 3 or 4 scores and you bring in, you go through the cycle of the 3 of Starkel, Hicks, and KJ, and you're still losing, and you still got bad quarterback play on the field, and you don't put in KJ, yeah, people are going to be mad. Absolutely. But if it's a close game, like I think it will be. I think it'll be I think they'll cover the spread. I do. I shouldn't do that. That's kiss of death, but I think they have an opportunity here. And I don't see KJ as ready to go. Now, again, they might have a package for him. And I think we might see him. There's a chance we'll see. Let's see here. If the same quarterback you got rid of come in here and put up good numbers and beat you, that tells you all the AD needs to know. Yeah, that really does. Tells you quite a bit. KJ switched numbers to simulate Mississippi State quarterback, I believe. Oh, okay. That's news to me. It's a very fluid situation this year. Are you going to preview the Rice game on Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, we're still. That's okay. I have not even had time this week to sit down and try and figure out a new schedule. Rice. Where's that schedule at? That's the boop, boop, boop. Yeah, Rice is November 5th. So I will be able to. I'll have my live stream and we'll break it down on Monday. What is that? The 3rd. So yeah, we'll get that done. I showed you guys the press pass that Porter and I both went. Pachow! You hear that? I love that sound. But that's it. So I'm going to try and go to some home games. That's going to probably mess with the schedule a little bit here, and I'm going to try and keep you guys up to date on that. But, okay. All right, we're done with football. I'm picking Arkansas to cover the spread. Let's talk a little women's basketball, and then we'll talk a little men's. So I went to the game with that press pass alongside our producer, Porter Hayes. And there is absolutely a reason to be excited about the Ladybacks. They played Oklahoma City, the Stars, and Porter could probably actually fill you in chat if he's still in here more about those guys, but they're good. Oklahoma City was nothing to laugh at. We walked in, Porter and I were like, oh, this should be a blowout. And the ladies were pretty damn good. Not going to lie. Bo Overton is their head coach over there. And, yeah, their enrollment's 2,700. I mean, it's a small school, right? It's a small program. They play in the SAC conference. Their arena is the Abe Lemons Arena. Capacity's 3,300. Yeah, Bo Overton's their head coach, but they were really good. They finished. What was that, Porter? Are you still in chat? I should have just brought you in here on Discord. But they were like national champions or runner-up last year. Yeah, there it is. There's my man, 31-5 in the NAIA national runners-up. They were good. They were really good. My man bailing me out in chat. Look at that. You go. But it was a fun game to watch. It was interesting. There wasn't a whole lot of media coverage there. It was an exhibition game. Of course, we know they start their regular season on November 8th, so it's coming up. And that's going to be on SEC Network against New Orleans. They're going to have Elementary Day, 10:30 a.m. tip-off, and it's going to be on the SEC Network Plus channel. I was really surprised. They got off to a really slow start, the Ladybacks did, but there's a lot here to be excited about. Chelsea Dungy, I cannot talk enough about her. She is all the accolades that they make her out to be. She deserves all the accolades. I think she's got how many All-American votes now? All conference votes. She's special. Her and Amber Ramirez went off. Chelsea Dungy, who actually ended up logging about 35, right almost 36 minutes, 31 points. And then Amber Ramirez with 15 points. And then next up was, Michaela Daniels with 5. They kind of, they got into some turnover trouble there to start the second half. And I think underneath, down in the paint, they're going to struggle a little bit. The Ladybacks kind of got out-hustled inside and not the greatest showing inside, but they do play aggressive. They chase the ball down. They run up and down the court. There's a lot of hustle with these ladies, and they've got some talent. And they're going to be good this year. They're ranked, I think, for the first time since what did we find out since 2000? I think since 2002, 2003, the first time they've been ranked in a preseason poll. They're going to be good. If you get a chance, go catch them play. If you get a chance, if you're in Fayetteville and or if you're in the area, I highly I recommend it if you're watching this from Oklahoma. I don't care, and you're a Razorback fan and you like women's basketball. They're going to be good. They're going to be really fun to watch. They barely missed the tournament. Tennessee got picked over them last year to make the NCAA tournament. I think they got ripped. Let's just call it like it is. Let's call a spade a spade. They got ripped on that. I think they make the tournament. I'm going to make a prediction for the Ladybacks. They make a tournament this year and might even have a pretty good run. Look at Mr. T-Dub helping out on the Patreon. He says, y'all, Patreon tie. I think he's saying to join the Patreon. $10 to $20 per month helps him able to invest in more of his branding and his product. Besides, most of us on here probably enjoy the HTP better than any other show. Great job, Ty. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Mr. T-Dub. Thank you, sir. Timothy Whiseant, ladies and gentlemen. Jump aboard the train. They will be special this year, says Peck. They will be. They're going to be fun. I had a blast. That was really cool. We got to meet the man himself, Mike Neighbors. Now, we've already had him on the Hog Talk podcast. He's a good guy, down to earth, and he's a straight shooter. Tells it like it is. He answered, Porter got in a good question there, and that was really cool. And then after that, he leaves the podium. When he comes down, he comes right up to us and thanks us for showing up and being there. And we told him, look, we're gonna cover the ladies. We're gonna cover you guys. So look, I don't know if he's aware of this. We're also brutally honest on the Hog Talk podcast. A lot of you know I don't hold back. Like, I'm gonna tell you straight up what I think. And if the ladies are slacking, I'm going to do the little finger wag like you're slacking. But I think there's going to be a lot of positivity around this team this year. But, yeah, Mike Neighbors, good guy. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be nice to have that. And I think Eric Musselman with the men's, they're going to get it turned around too. I think they're going to be pretty good. I don't know about year one. We'll see. Bo Magley is a pompous midget. Wow. I like Bo. Marco, I like Bo. Peck says it was 2002 since last time. I was a senior in high school since the last time the ladies were ranked. I can't pretend women's basketball is engaging. That would be rock bottom. if I was covering the media, it'd be a different story. Yeah, no, look, I think, Jay, it's comparable to men's basketball. It's hard to compare the two. But those ladies, look, man, they put in a lot of effort, put in a lot of work, and they've got a good product on the court. That's what I look at. How good is the product? How good is the finished product on the court? And if it's worth watching, especially if they're ranked, you ought to watch it. At least I think so. If you're a Razorback fan, but I'm not going to tell anybody that you should have to do one thing or another. Different strokes for different folks. Not everybody can enjoy all. I'm not a big soccer guy. I'm not not real big on volleyball. But hey, you know what? If I get a chance to cover it, and again, I had fun. I had fun watching these ladies. They're going to be special. Again, Chelsea Dungy, holy crap. That girl is the real deal. Thank God for Hog basketball and Hogs fall to Mississippi State, says YouTuber Trump. Yeah, it's going to be so nice to have Razorback basketball. I know this year there's still a lot of work that needs to be done with the men's team. So, they have Rice November 5th at Bud Walton at 7 p.m. I haven't done my homework on Rice just yet. I'm going to start on that hopefully this weekend leading into the Monday show, and that's where I'm going to give you guys my actual pick for the season. Again, like I said earlier, it's just so good to have. I think you're going to have a really good product on the court. I'm not saying whether or not they go to the tournament. We'll see. We'll have to see how that. We'll get into SEC play before we start really judging what they have. Ty, the Thirsty Thursday drinking soundbite was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Funniest thing I've heard this week. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, by the way, I have the Pig Trail podcast. We have the Thirsty Thursday. It's exclusive there. It's just 20 or 30 minutes. Me just getting you guys caught up throughout the week. Because there's that gap in the middle of the week. I've been saying it for the last several weeks. I'm going to try and get some more content out in the middle of the week. Not only just there on the podcast, but also here. What that is exactly, I'm not really sure. But yeah, the Thirsty Thursday podcast, or the Thirsty Thursday Pig Trail podcast is a lot of fun. It's just cool to kind of sit and unwind. And it's basically what we do here. We just sit back. We don't take it too serious. We go over the basics. Sometimes I dive into the numbers a little bit, but it's laid back. And then I obviously on the Monday and Friday live streams here, those also get put up the following day. I'll support Arkansas in everything, but football is the only thing I can really invest in. I see. Is it just me, or did everyone disappear from the chat when women's basketball came up? That's fine. Not everyone likes women's basketball. That's okay. I really do think they're going to be worth watching. Why shouldn't we expect the Hogs to make the tournament this year? Well, we'll get into that on Monday, King, but I'm going to tell you it has a lot to do with size and talent. I'll just say that. I think outside of Isaiah Joe, and now if you get Vanover cleared, that might be a different story. Let's see. If it was Mike, we would expect this team to make the tournament. Yeah, but that's different because you've had he's been there. These are his guys, right? Like you would expect him to make the tournament. That should be 9 years in. Is that asking too much? King Mello? Just saying. His track record in postseason was not so great. I know being a football school and being successful in men's basketball and baseball, it's hard to transition to women's basketball, but you'll be thinking us come March when they're in the tourney. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. They're going to be in the tournament. Let's see. Excited for men's basketball. I watched the last two exhibitions and they looked good to me. I'm not a super fan of basketball though. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of. They got work to do. They've got work to do, and I think we'll get a really good idea of where they're at on November 25th, which is going to be in Atlanta, and they're going to take on Georgia Tech. We'll get a really good idea of where they're at after that. And then you've got Northern Kentucky, Austin Peay, and then you've got at Western Kentucky, Tulsa. Then you're going to play I can never pronounce this damn team, Valparaiso in North Little Rock actually, and then they're on the road against Indiana on that Sunday, and then on that's December 29th, and then January 4th they open up conference play against Texas A&M at Bud Walton at 6 p.m. for the men's. Let's see. A lack of size. Talking to King, yeah. But I expect every Razorback coach to win. Just have to. Well, you have to be realistic. You have to be realistic about what they have and what he has to work with. Year one, that's why if we're going to give Chad Morris a pass on 2-10, so to speak, a pass on what happened that year, so to speak. Not to, it's obvious when you look back at the body of work, it's not there for Chad. When you look back on all that, you get that year one, you've got to give them a break. Year two, you pump the heat up a little bit. You need to expect more. You need to expect for Razorback football, kind of a slow climb, all things considered. That's the other thing. You have to consider where they're at. They love Musselman now. Let him lose a game, and they will be on him like Morris. This Razorback hog. No. When you're on Morris because of, I don't know, losing to San Jose State. I think that probably warrants being on him. I don't have any expectations of them making the tournament this year. Just saying. Anyone in chat going to the Mizzou game in a few weeks? Don't know. I like how Musselman is involving old players and bringing back the old at Barnhill. Great coach. It's going to be fun. He's an interesting guy. He's a really interesting guy. Maybe eventually we'll get a chance to cover the men's team as well. That'll be a hoot. I'll be looking forward to that. All right, we're up at 46 minutes. If you guys have any more questions or anything, now's the time. Speak now or wait until Monday. I was going to try and do something clever there. I couldn't think of anything. For those of you listening on the podcast, thank you guys so much for being a part of it here as well. I really do appreciate it. Also, guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and all that stuff. There's something else. I thought we had something else. There's no recruiting updates at the moment. I'm still pretty, as far as basketball for the men's. They've got a good shot at getting some commitments before the season start, as the season, but before they get into conference play, I'll say that they should get at least a commitment or possibly two. But they're turning it around. I feel really good about the in-state prospects for the men's team. It could be on paper one of the best classes they've signed in quite some time. So let's see, chat. Fans will be patient for Muss even if they have to, says Jay. I really hope he works out. I like Musselman. I think that was Razorback Hog. I think we'll get at least Sweet 16 in the Musselman era. Let's see. Peck says King Mello this year, NIT next year. Oh, Peck says he's got him going to NIT. I could see NIT. I think they're in that realm. So the fire John L for 3-9 record in his first year, but then when Chad does worse than that, we don't fire him. To be fair to John L., he was hired to an interim capacity as the head coach. He wasn't. He knew he wasn't going to be around for long. Let's see. I have hope. Thanks for the review time. Maybe we will win tomorrow. Cheers. Maybe, again, a win could do a lot. It could do a lot. It really could, even if it is just Mississippi State. Let's see. Sean, I like Musselman right now. Really, I have a feeling I didn't have with Mike seeing on the court and how they behave during the game. And that new Southwest High School is going to be a monster for football and basketball. Mr. T-Dub, if John, Stephen Jones, Burks, KJ get the most snaps, we win by 17. That's a hell of a prediction, Mr. T-Dub. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Mr. T-Dub, I hope you have a good rest of your week. Timothy Whiseant, sir. I'm becoming an SMU fan. All they do is win, win, win. They do. They do a lot more. And, yeah, not so much with their former head coach at his new gig. But Yeah. All right. Yeah, we will have the live show tomorrow. The halftime show will be available on the on the Hog Talk podcast. That'll be available tomorrow at halftime with the Mississippi State game. Assuming if all goes well, if there's any updates, we'll let you guys know. And then there will be a post-game show here. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it. We'll see you guys tomorrow, I guess, late or late afternoon, early evening. We'll see you guys here for the post-game show. If it's a win, it's going to be awesome. If it's a loss, it's going to be awesome. The chat just always seems that you guys bring it, and it's a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys then. Have a good have a good Friday. I never did say happy Halloween, but I hope you guys had a blast on Halloween. So how about Baylor 8-0? Yeah, how about Baylor? Board of Trustees. How about that head coach over there? So, yeah. All right. We'll be here tomorrow. You guys have a good night. I'll see you.